Tank Davis is in full beast mode as he preps for his fight against Lamont Roach. Every part of his routine is dialed in. And the guy doesn't mess around from the second the day starts. It's all about pushing limits, sharpening skills, and making sure he's ready for anything Roach throws his way. His day kicks off early with breakfast. And it's not just any breakfast. We're talking about eggs, turkey, bacon, and capsicum. It's packed with protein, vitamins, and just enough flavor to keep it interesting. Yeah. Tank's all about fueling his body right because he knows the morning session is going to be a killer. Once he's fueled up, it's time to hit the gym. Warming up is serious business for Davis. He starts with skipping rope and jumping jacks. It's a great way to get the blood flowing and loosen up those muscles. There's no skipping steps here. Every stretch counts. He targets his hamstrings, calves, and chest with a mix of active and passive stretches. Flexibility is key in boxing, and Davis doesn't want to leave anything to chance.
Hey, see who it is. Hey, who is the dude? Who is the dude?
And that right there is why it's...
Then it's time for the real deal, the boxing drills. First up, pad work. Davis works closely with his trainer to perfect his offense-defense. And counter-punching, the focus is sharp. He's throwing rapid combos and dodging imaginary punches like it's fight night. The mitt routines are intense. And his trainer wears a body shield so Davis can practice those rib-crushing body shots. Watching him train is like watching a storm build up. You know something powerful is coming, and Lamont Roach knows it too. Shadow boxing comes next. It might look simple to an outsider, but this is where Davis visualizes the fight with Lamont Roach. Every jab, hook, and slip is done with intention. He's not just moving for the sake of it. He's picturing Roach across from him, preparing for every possible scenario. It's part mental game, part physical conditioning. And it shows why Davis is one of the best in the game. When Davis steps over to the heavy bag, things get loud. He's not just throwing punches, he's unloading bombs. You can feel the intensity in every hit in his training videos.
I say ninth round. What? I say ninth round.
You said ninth?
Yeah.
What's your response to that, Lamont?
Look, he got scared. Look. He looked at ninth.
I'm telling him, you saying you going down in a ninth?
Then comes the double end bag next, and it's all about reflexes and timing. The bag bounces unpredictably, mimicking an opponent's movements. Davis hones his ability to react quickly, an essential skill when facing someone as crafty as Roach. After that, the speed bag comes into play. Davis hits it with machine-like rhythm, working on hand, EY coordination, and shoulder strength. It's a hypnotic sight, and the speed is unreal. Then comes the part that separates the pros from the amateurs. Sparring. Davis doesn't do light sparring sessions. He steps in with bigger, tougher guys to make sure he's fully prepared for anything. His sparring partners push him hard, and Davis thrives on the challenge. The hits are real, and the intensity is off the charts. No punches are pulled, and every session feels like a mini fight night. After that morning grind, Davis fuels up with lunch chicken, turkey, or tuna with a side of spinach, and a light snack are the usual choices. It's all about protein and clean eating to aid recovery and keep his energy levels high for the afternoon session.
Not really trying to get in his personal business. Probably just showing him that, I could do anything, especially in your back.
The afternoon is dedicated to strength and conditioning. Davis hits the weights with a purpose. Push-ups and pull-ups are staples in his routine, and he doesn't stop until every muscle is burning. Medicine ball slams and twists are a huge part of his training, helping him build rotational power for those devastating punches. Their bands add resistance to his exercises, building muscle endurance without risking injury. Core work is non-negotiable for Davis. He hammers away at his abs, obliques, and lower back with a variety of exercises. A strong core means he can take body shots and still stand tall in the ring. It also helps him deliver those explosive punches that have become his trademark. Let's go. Cardio training is another critical piece of the puzzle. Davis doesn't just run, he runs with a purpose. He mixes steady-state runs with high-intensity sprints to build stamina and mental toughness. Whether he's pounding the pavement or hitting the treadmill, he's always pushing his limits. Jump rope and Cycling are all in the mix, giving him variety, while keeping his endurance level sky high. Dinner is the final meal of the day, and it's as balanced as it gets. Salmon, mashed potatoes, broccoli, and asparagus are staples on Davis's plate. The salmon is packed with omega-3s to aid muscle recovery, and the veggies provide essential fiber and vitamins. Davis doesn't mess around with his diet. Everything he eats is chosen to maximize performance. Occasionally, he'll treat himself to something sweet like Skittles, but those moments are rare. On the other end, Lamont Roach knows he isn't just walking into this fight with Tank hoping for a good showing. He's stepping in with the mindset of flipping the narrative, being counted out. That's fuel for him. Roach has been dealing with people underestimating him for a long time, and now with a shot at one of the biggest names in boxing, he's ready to prove he belongs at the top. Growing up in Washington, D.C., Roach shared a similar boxing path to Davis. They came up in the amateurs together, though. Davis has taken a more high-profile route to superstardom. Roach's father and trainer, Lamont Roach Sr., has watched Davis evolve into the knockout artist he is today, but they aren't focusing on the past right now. All eyes are on preparation. The atmosphere in Roach's camp is no nonsense, and the determination is evident with every session. Mindset is to beat his ass, Roach told Boxing Scene. There's no sugarcoating his intentions. He knows what Davis brings to the table, but he's not here to be just another name on Tank's highlight reel. Roach feels every bit the underdog in this fight, and instead of shrinking under the pressure, he's thriving in it. His journey to this fight has been anything but easy. Roach won his junior lightweight title in November 2023 against Hector Luis Garcia on the undercard of David Benz's big stoppage win over Demetrius Andrade.
I think he actually took this fight for the naysayers and all this and all the people talking shit about the fight. I think he actually took the fight because he know that I'm a dog, and he want to prove his skills against a dog. So I'm going to show y'all what happens when two dogs get in the ring.
That victory was huge for Roach, solidifying him as a real threat in the division. He successfully defended the title against Efeli Mccy earlier this year, showing that he's not just a one-hit wonder, but still he's been dismissed by many as having little to no shot against Davis. This camp is different because I feel like they are counting me out, Roach said. And he's right, the doubters on social media have been loud, and Davis's reputation as one of the hardest punchers in boxing only amplifies that noise. Roach isn't the naturally bigger man either. He's stepping up from 130 pounds to meet Davis at 135, a weight class Davis has dominated. Clip 9. And let's be real, Davis's record speaks for itself. 30 wins, 28 knockouts. He's left a trail of bodies behind him with names like Ryan Garcia and Frank Martin on his hit list. But Roach isn't interested in statistics. He's preparing to take away Davis's advantages one punch and one mental edge at a time. He knows Davis loves to break his opponents down mentally before landing the physical blow that finishes them. Roach plans to flip that script, staying calm under fire and using his own game plan rather than reacting to Davis's every move. His motivation for this fight is crystal clear: legacy and life change. The biggest motivations for the fight are being able to show, I'm really one of the best fighters in the world, Roach said.
It was a close fight. Obviously, I thought I won. There was like an incident where a point got taken from both of us, and it only should have been him, or whatever the case may be. And we sent it to
the fact that after I win, my life and my family's lives will change drastically for the good. It's a simple but powerful statement. Roach isn't just fighting for himself. He's fighting for his family, for his city, and for the respect he feels has been denied to him. He knows beating Davis would be career-defining. It would take him from being a solid champion to a household name in camp. Roach has been pushing himself harder than ever. His sparring partners have been carefully chosen to mimic Davis's style as much as possible. They've been throwing everything at him: speed, power, aggression. And Roach has been holding his own. The focus has been on movement, defense, and keeping the fight in the middle of the ring. He knows standing still against Davis is a death sentence, so he's training to stay elusive while still landing sharp counters. His father, Lamont Roach Sr., has been a huge influence in keeping Roach mentally locked in. The elder Roach is a non-nonsense trainer who doesn't let the outside noise seep into their gym every session, is about preparation and improvement, not worrying about what the media or fans are saying. It's all about staying grounded and sticking to the plan. Psychologically, Roach knows he has to stay in Davis's face. From the opening bell, Davis thrives when opponents show fear or hesitation, and Roach refuses to give him that satisfaction.
But just overall being something that he's not been in the ring with. I'm the total package, and honestly, sometimes I think he doubted himself. But I'm a competitor, and I feel like I'm the best. So I'm assured.
When he talks about you not bringing your family, what goes through your mind when you hear him say that?
I ain't worried about that.
Fight the plan is to stay calm, stay sharp, and show Davis that he's not intimidated. If Roach can do that, he's got a real shot at breaking down the walls. Davis usually builds around his opponent's. Gervonta Davis has been stirring up confusion lately with his unpredictable moves. For the past few months, the Baltimore native has made some eyebrow-raising comments about his career, throwing his fans into a state of uncertainty. It all started when, on Christmas Eve, Davis dropped a bombshell that had everyone questioning what was going on. Out of nowhere, he claimed that his highly anticipated showdown with Roach, which fans had been eagerly waiting for, was canceled. There was no explanation, no follow-up statement, just a social media post that left the boxing world scratching its head.
Not a bad fight. You know, Lamont Roach is a world champion. He's smaller than Gervonta Davis. The problem is not many people are aware of who he is or his ability. But he can fight. I don't think it's a huge fight, but not a terrible one.
Naturally, fans jumped to conclusions, speculating that it might be another one of Tank's infamous meltdowns. The unpredictability of Davis's statements hasn't been new, but this felt different. The timing was odd, and with no backup from his team or anyone else, it felt like another episode of Davis throwing a wrench into his own plans. But just when it seemed like the fight might slip through everyone's fingers, Lamont wrote in his father, Lamont Sr., stepped in to clear the air. They issued statements reassuring the fans that the fight was still on track for its scheduled date. The whole situation could have easily escalated into chaos, but both fighters managed to keep the focus on their upcoming showdown. Despite the brief confusion, the momentum didn't falter, and now both Roach and Davis are fully locked in for their March 1st, 2025 bout at Barclays Center in Brooklyn.
The fact that Lamont Roach is as familiar with Tank Davis as he is, it goes beyond them fighting in the amateurs. They've spent time in camp together. He's been around Tank. He's seen Tank up close and personal, whether he's in the ring with them or not.
Roach, for his part, was just as baffled as the rest of us when the cancellation rumors started swirling. While fans on social media were panicking, Roach wasn't getting caught up in the drama. During a recent Quanda session on his YouTube channel, he addressed the situation with his usual calm demeanor. A fan asked him directly, "Why did people say the fight was canceled, or you pulled out?" Roach smiled, acknowledging the question, and went on to explain his side of things. Gervonta Davis is like a wild card. Roach said you never know what he's going to do next. The 29-year-old Washington native admitted that Davis's unpredictability is something he's had to learn to deal with over the years. He wasn't fazed by the rumors or the confusion. Instead, he's learned to stay focused on what he can control. Roach has seen it all in his own journey, and he's not going to let any of Davis's eccentricities throw him off course. Roach knows DAV well enough by now to understand that Tank is his own person, and his decisions don't always make sense from the outside. Whether it's an emotional tweet or a cryptic post, Davis often keeps people guessing about his next move. Roach, however, isn't bothered by the mental gymnastics Tank puts the boxing world through. For Roach, it's business. As usual, he has his own fight to prepare for, and nothing is going to distract him from that goal. The mental aspect of boxing is just as important as the physical preparation, and Roach is staying mentally sharp for his biggest challenge. Yet I don't let that stuff affect me. Roach said it's clear that he's not about to get wrapped up in the drama or the rumors. Instead, he's channeling all that energy into getting himself ready for what could be the fight of his life. Roach knows that beating Davis would change everything for him, his career, his life, and his legacy. But for now, he's focused on keeping his eyes on the prize, letting the noise from the outside roll off his back.
Not looking at Lamont the way that everybody else look at Lamont. Like I know Lamont is a really good fighter. I'm not. This ain't no Frank Martin. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
It's a real good fight.
The countdown to their showdown in Brooklyn continues. It's safe to say that Roach is as locked in as ever. His camp is already underway, and he's preparing for Davis in the most professional way possible. John Davis looks sharp and ready to go with his weight already close to fighting form, while other fighters like Gervonta Davis seem to carry a lot of weight during training camp. Tank is staying lean and prepared. Gervonta often looks more like a welterweight before cutting down to 135 pounds, but Tank doesn't rely on drastic weight cuts to get an advantage. He's a natural lightweight, not someone trying to game the system by shedding pounds last minute.
I think Lamont Roach is a terrific fighter. He might be a little over his head with Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis is, to say the least, he's a beast. He really is.
Interestingly, Tank's longtime trainer Calvin Ford hasn't been seen much lately, which has led to speculation that the two may have parted ways. Ford has been a constant figure in Tank's career for years, so his absence hasn't gone unnoticed by fans. And insiders like Leonard Ellaby, who knows Davis, well weighed in on the situation. During a conversation on the Laboratory with Plaza, Ellaby reflected on Tank's recent announcement about retiring after 3 more fights, saying he understood the mindset behind it. I can understand where he's coming from. Things are different when you have kids. It changed your life. It completely changes your life, Irby said.
Rematch clause, people, so get ready for 2 fights. But, yes, and after I beat him the second time, I probably would ask the WBA to let me go up to 140 and fight Raya.
Labey also pointed out how Tank sees things differently than he did 6 or 7 years ago, if that's what he said, that he's retiring. And we all heard him, no, not at all, it's never good enough what you do, and sometimes that can be frustrating. He added that the pressure from fans and the constant demand for more fights can take a toll. There's more to life than something you do for a living. You have respect for fans who pay their money to see you fight, but you have a life outside of boxing. They want you to continue to do this, and they really don't care about your health afterward.
Has been able to solve Tank Davis. What do you need to do together with you and your team and obviously your son to score that victory?
We got a game plan. We're going to execute it, and we're going to get the
Move
results.
that head, bob and weave, bob and weave.
The future may look bright for Tank, but it's also packed with hungry competitors. Fighters like Andy Cruz, Edwin De Los Santos, and Gervonta Davis are all chasing him. And it's possible that Tank feels the heat. These are not easy fights, and Tank knows that if he's confident he can beat them. He also knows those battles will be grueling at this stage of his career. He may not want to put in the extreme effort required for such high-stakes matchups. Ellaby also shared his thoughts on the brutal nature of boxing and how it affects a fighter's long-term health. When the people who I fight, when they start talking, that's when y'all get them I'm a be his ass he can't do. __. So y'all better be quiet. I don't give it __. While like twisted up, I don't give it __. About nothing. Boxing is a brutal sport. You see a lot of fighters from before they were taken advantage of in a lot of different ways. They went through a lot of health issues, a lot of permanent stuff. I understand the philosophy that you come into the sport and make your mark, and then you leave it at that. Everybody's opinion is different, and everybody has different goals in life. He explained with Davis's retirement announcement hanging over everything. The big question is whether it will actually be permanent. Ellaby hinted that Tank may not be done forever. It's hard to ignore how popular Davis is and the kind of money he can attract if the right offer comes along. In 6 to 12 months, it wouldn't be surprising to see him make a return. A massive payday could easily pull him back into the ring, especially if the opponent is someone high profile enough to make headlines. Beat his ass. Why talking SH for real? IB, be quiet. I don't give like twisted up. I don't give ad, none of that. Not at all. Telling you I'm up. Not at all. Never nothing. Tanks fans are left one eye. What's next? Will he stay retired and focus on life outside of boxing, or will the call of the sport and the money prove too strong to resist whatever happens? One thing is certain: Davis is still one of the most talked about fighters in the game, and everyone is watching his next move. Well, do you think Lamont Roach can actually put down Tank? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more updates. See you in the next one.
Beat his ass for y'all talking. For real. So I better be quiet.
I don't give a fuck if y'all was quiet, if y'all was loud.
We got hood over there. Like, twisted up. I don't give a fuck about none of that.
Y'all can do whatever y'all want. My mother, he can't stop nothing over here.
None of that.
Not at all.
I'm telling you, I'm going to f*** him up.
Not at all. Never. Nothing.